This is about safety, but not the kind of safety you feel walking down the street at night, and not the kind of relief you feel from having more money in the bank, finding the right person, or everything going your way all the time. This is the kind of safety you build inside yourself, regardless of any of those outcomes. So no matter what chaos happens around you, you're solid. Everything you desire to create in this life sits on top of that foundation. Safety as a foundation for creation means a few things. First, let's define what safety means. Safety means a sense of calm aliveness where you are out of fight, flight, or freeze, which are all body responses to survival or some form of threat or fear. The creation piece is, you could refer to it as manifestation, the creation of something that you desire, bringing something into reality. A business, a project, a certain lifestyle that you're living, they're all forms of creation. So when we're looking at safety as the foundation of that creation that you are bringing into reality, we have to understand a couple of things. It doesn't matter how much you can understand intellectually the teachings of gurus, manifestation, or other spiritual teachers who are here to give you tools and guidance, which are all extremely helpful. The foundation of everything underneath is a feeling of safety within. Safety is something that we experience at the very beginning of our life or the lack of it. When we are brought into this world, we are immediately seeking safety. So we look for it in our parents, care, love, warmth, safety. All of it revolves around how much we feel safe in our body to relax and to rest. So because our first inclination when we arrive into this world is to seek safety outside of us, because we need it for our survival, that inclination carries with us throughout our life, where we start seeking safety in everything outside of us in order to get that same feeling when we don't feel okay. So we look for it in money. Money is going to give me a certain level of financial security, and therefore then I will feel safe and calm. We're not saying that that isn't true, but we're saying that there's a deeper layer to this. It's the same in love or in a relationship. I'm looking for a partner so I do not feel alone. And when I'm not alone, I feel calm, I feel okay, I feel safe. All of these are forms of looking for something outside of ourselves. For me, for a long time, especially over the last number of years, I was seeking this sense of safety, this sense of home in money and also in travel as well. It's like I was searching for home in all of these different countries I was visiting as I was building my business. And then I was looking for safety in money. If I had enough money in my bank account, that would give me a sense of safety. Again, we're not saying that none of that is true, but it was always me chasing something outside of myself until I realized that safety is something that is created within. I'm never going to have the perfect amount of money in my bank account to feel safe. I'm never going to have enough people around me to feel completely safe. I'm never going to have the relationship that's going to give me the safety that I want, which is the feeling of calm aliveness where you are out of fight, flight, or freeze. This understanding started to click everything into place when it came to the things that I learned throughout my journey around creation, around bringing things to reality, getting results, changing your life, transforming your environment, whatever the case is. The feeling of safety was the thing that actually brought me to the place where I could fully receive what it is that I wanted. So let's talk about receiving for a second. We're oftentimes geared to look towards what do I need to do in order to generate results? What actions do I need to take? Half the equation. The other side of it is this more relaxed state of being, of this calm certainty, this safety that we're talking about here. For a long time, my actions were driven by urgency and scarcity. If I don't do, then I will not have. Half the equation, because the energy driving my actions was from a feeling of not being safe, of not having this sense of inner safety within. So therefore, I was looking to move forward and to take action with ruthless aggression to be able to create that safety. Now, what I didn't understand is that I was planting seeds that entire time of scarcity, and those seeds will grow, but they will not sustain. The understanding with all of this is how we respond to experiences. Safety is never going to come outside of us because we live in an unsafe world. We have to understand that there's always going to be other people in our lives that are not coming from the same lens that we are. And we have to be aware that we are subject to the actions of others. So therefore, it's not about trying to change the world to be more safe. It's about creating safety within, which then, as a byproduct, if everyone was to do that, we would live in a very safe world. But it starts with us, like always. So it's about how you respond to the experiences and the challenges that you experience in your life. I went through many financial challenges throughout my business journey so far. My bank account hitting zero multiple times this year, ups and downs, highs and lows. And in the low moments, I was given the opportunities that seemed like failures and losses to be able to create a sense of certainty and safety within my own self. The anxiousness and the fear that came up when my bank account dropped was a chance for me to go into that emotion, to feel it, to not latch onto it and attach to it and let it drive my behavior, but to allow it to move through me as any emotion does and just feel it. When I was able to do that, I got rid of the illusion of fear that was driving me the entire time, and I started to see that there was nothing to be afraid of. When I started to shift that perspective, not only did my bank account start to rise, after I decided to go to New Zealand, within 48 hours of putting out an offer, there was 10,000 euros in my bank account. But I started to feel this calm sense of no matter what is happening in my life, I do not need to control the world around me. I can control my state. I have the power within. The interesting thing with this is that the mind is the part of us that will never feel safe, because the mind is subject to the physical and material world around us, and it is also subject to programming. If you go on social media, look at the news, you'll see an abundance of fear, an abundance of reasons why things aren't working out, reasons why things aren't going well. The world is going to shit, there's not enough money, the economy is down. Whatever the story is, it's a noise. It's all an illusion, but the mind, if we're solely stuck up here in our mind, we are subject to all of that. When we are experiencing something challenging, it's the opportunity for us to get out of our mind and into our body and trust that felt sense that emotion is moving through us, fear is an illusion, and we allow ourselves to move through that in a way where we can develop neutrality and neutralize it so that it doesn't put us in this spiral of taking action from that place or inaction from that place and paralyzing us into freeze or fighting against it or just completely avoiding it and running away from it and disassociating or numbing out. It's none of those things. When we see the fear for what it is and we allow it to flow through us, we actually take away its power. And what we do in those moments is we unlock more of our real self. Because creation itself, the creation of your dream reality, whatever results you're bringing into this world, it's very, very challenging to create that from a place of survival and fear. But it almost feels like the world is almost designed to keep you in that state of survival. But it's buying into an illusion. Now, I know how that can sound, because you may be thinking, well, I have bills to pay. There's money to be made. I have to take care of my family. I have to do this. I have to take care of myself. All of that is relevant, and we're not ignoring that in any way, shape, or form. What we are doing, though, is acknowledging that fear as it comes in is not something that we have to completely let overrun our system. We do not have to be subject to feeling like we are powerless in those scenarios, because these challenges that come through us and give us this sense of fear are simply there because we have created that from the fear within ourselves for us to see it, bring it to the light, illuminate it, and let it go. I went through incredible challenges financially in my business, but I was always shown, the more I leaned into this journey of letting that fear flow through me and not becoming identified with it, the more I saw I was supported. Things would come out of nowhere. Things would be there to support me. People, communities, family, out of nowhere. Because I was willing to ask for support, or I was willing to put myself out there, or I was willing to trust enough to see through the illusion. When we tap into this sense of safety within, we create space to create. So if it's not outside of us and it's not in the mind, there's only one place left where it can be: in the body. And the most empowering thing about this is that the body can be taught. Let's look at 4 practical things that you can take from what we've discussed so far and apply them into your life. We are not here to simply be this completely and solely independent person that doesn't rely on anybody. When we were born into this world, back in the days where there was tribes and there was communities, yes, those days had their own set of challenges, but children were brought into this world where they didn't just have 2 parents, they had extended family, friends, people around them to support them. Today, we've been fed this lie that it's all about independence. We don't need more independence. We need good people in our lives to depend on. We're not here to carry the ship by ourselves. This is the biggest illusion I had to break through my own journey. Everything is a co-creation with something bigger than ourselves and with others around us. We need people. This is why it's important to cultivate a sense of community somewhere, whether it's online or in person, and just put yourself out there to connect with people in some way, shape, or form. Something I'm getting better at more and more. It's time to take back what we truly need in this world, which is people around us that we can trust, and seeking those people out. Co-regulation is a real thing. It nourishes us. It brings us back into real connection where we don't feel alone. There's nothing better than looking in the eyes of someone, sharing a problem, being heard, being listened to, being seen. Lets you know that you're not alone. The next thing is using our breath, meditation. These have been big for me. When a stressful scenario comes up, no matter what it is, if you just take a moment to notice where your breath is at, it's likely shallow. It's likely this state of panic where you can feel it in your body, anxiousness, anger. These things can come out. They're all welcome. We're not here to suppress these things. They're welcome. But when we can learn to bring ourselves back to our simple breath, breathing in through the nose and out through the mouth, or breathing in through the mouth and out through the mouth, or into the nose and out through the nose. There's many different ways. All of them do different things. When we learn to breathe down into our belly, we start to lower our diaphragm and we get out of this shallow breathing. We start to relax our body deeper. We signal to our body that it is safe to be here in this moment right now. Regardless of the emotions that are coming up, regardless of what's happening around us, we stay regulated. That is creating safety within. That is signaling safety within. Your inner dialogue. Spoken word is so powerful and it's so ignored. It's why in religious communities it's all about prayer. Prayer, spoken word, affirming, affirmations, some people refer to it as. All of it is confirming what you believe about your situation, what you believe about yourself. When you're telling yourself negative things about yourself and your situation, you're reaffirming the same reality that you're in. It doesn't leave space for something new to come. When we use our spoken word and understand the power of our words and how it's been used against us for so long, we take back our power again. And we learn to train ourselves to speak the reality that we want to experience, to receive support. When you're looking for guidance, ask for guidance. When you're looking for a mentor, ask for a mentor. When you're looking for a friend, ask for a friend. Let it be shown to you. Let it be brought to you. Co-create with something bigger than yourself. Whatever your beliefs are, this is not about religion. It's about whatever you believe. It's all welcome. When we learn to use our spoken word to create, we understand that we're not alone. There's good forces. There's people here, communities that are here to support us. The last thing I'll mention when it comes to creating safety within is creating a safe space for emotions to be felt. Regardless of your upbringing, your experiences with emotions, what your perspective is on that, I would invite you into the idea that your emotions are not a problem to solve. They're not something that you have to manage. They're simply just something that is moving through you. I like to see emotions as energy in motion. If something is in motion, it just wants to move. When we stop it from moving, we think that it's wrong. We try to control it. We try to get rid of it or suppress it. We label ourselves as there's something wrong with us. That creates dysregulation in the body, makes us feel uncomfortable because the energy wasn't allowed to move. So it will come out in outbursts, or it will come out in saying something offensive to somebody, or it will come out as emotional abuse where you'll start firing it at somebody out of reactivity. When we learn to feel,
We create a safe space in our body to feel emotions. When we do that, we signal to the body it is safe for this to move through us. And we experience the clarity on the other side. All of these little things help you create a sense of safety within. That gives you the foundation for being in a position where no matter what is going on in the world around you, you are solid, you are grounded, you are certain in yourself, beyond the logical mind, beyond the circumstances that you find around you. You are put back in the driver's seat and you are empowered to then create whatever it is that you want. This is not to say there's going to be no challenges. If anything, there'll be more challenges to test you. But when you have that sense of self built and you understand what we're talking about here deeply and embody that, nothing can fuck with you. Nothing can take away that from you. Nothing can take that away from you. And that is where we unlock the ability to, if you want to use the term manifest, if you want to use the term create, build, whatever it is that you want in this world. It's not just a nice idea. It's the foundation of everything else moving forward. We don't need to intellectually understand more information. We need to feel deeply in our body that we are safe in a world that is full of dysregulation, with devices and technology that are simply here to disrupt you. It is up to us to come back to ourselves, realize the truth within, and realize that safety and creating that within ourselves is something that's within reach. It's not something we have to search for. If you want support in creating safety within your own self, I do work with people. Check out some of the links below if that's of interest to you. All of this is to say the power is in your hands. And that's a beautiful thing to be excited about. That's it for today's video. You fucking got this. Never forget that.